Welcome.
And welcome to another edition of Creators Outlet. Today we have, I hope I don't butcher your last name, Austin Janowsky.
Oh my God, first try. Woo!
Wow. And he is the creator of Zombies Were Human Too. So
yes, it is.
This is volume 2. And tell us how this whole series got started.
Thank you for asking me that question. So Zombies Were Human 2 is an idea that I came up with going on 12 years now. I was a guest at Wizard World Atlanta, and I was sitting down for lunch, and these nice people came and sat down. So I started conversing and found out that they were the first featured zombies for The Walking Dead. If you remember the Entertainment Weekly cover when they were announcing the series, Rick's gun, the zombies are in the back. That was them. So we kind of joked about the comic book and this and this. And I said, it'd be interesting if we did a backstory of who you guys were before you became zombies as a joke. But I thought about it and said, oh, this is actually a pretty interesting idea. No one's really doing that. You know what I mean? Zombies they think of after the fact or they're monsters or whatever. But having the backstories of who they were and how they became zombies would be very interesting. Contractually, they weren't able to do that, and I put it to the side. And Facebook has this wonderful thing of 8 years ago, memories, and poster came up, the idea that I had thought, and I said, oh man, it's too bad we couldn't do this. And people loved the idea, and creators jumped on, and they wanted to be a part of it. And this is volume 1. So the idea is you got the main story of 3 kids. They're foraging for food, spooked by zombies, chased down into this warehouse, and they call them the youngest of the 3. The other 2 start picking out zombies that they see, make up funny stories of who they were, how long they lasted, and how they died. And that's basically the concept. So the main story's in color. Zombie stories are going to be in black and white, and I wanted to collaborate with a lot of different creators. So we have different art teams, writers and artists that do the zombie stories. So we did a Kickstarter last year, which we got funded, which was great. And now we're on to volume 2.
Excellent. And you've been working in comics for many years now?
Yes, I'm celebrating my 26th year of obscurity in the comic book industry. I make a joke on that because I've been lucky enough to work on Iron Man with Bob Layton, and stuff like IDW, Dynamite, Image, Ink Assist with Jay Leeson, for Top Cow and a few others over the years. Been a lot of other books and putting out my own. But my day job, my backup plan, as my parents called it when I wanted to break into comic books, was advertising, graphics. So I got my degree in graphics to make them happy. And then for 5 years, I was a newspaper. When I moved to Florida, I got a job working for Disney in creative marketing, and then I worked for Universal, and then NASCAR, and then Warner Brothers, and then I was a creative director for about 6-7 years before I finally decided to stop. So that was the day job, full-time. Comic books was more part-time, sometimes full-time. So people know my name, but they don't really know where they know me from because I've done a lot of stuff in just little bits.
I was one of those people. I'm I recognize your name, but I couldn't remember from where, but I knew it was somewhere in comics. So
yeah, I've been lucky enough to work on a lot of cool books, covers or short stories or 1 or 2 issues, whatever. Never had the time or had the opportunity to work on a really large run. And I've been lucky, the graphics thing was just I'll just make them happy, but working for Disney and then Universal and then NASCAR and everything was a pretty cool ride. And I fell to the time where I was a hybrid, where I could illustrate by hand, but I knew the computer programs, Illustrator, Photoshop. I was a graphics computer guy. So I was very multi-talented and very desirable back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it was the right time, right place, right skill set for me to be able to get these jobs and work with these great companies. But after 21, 22 years of doing that, I wanted to try to do something else. So I still do comic books, but when I got done with graphics, I decided to try to get into film. And my wife gave me 3 years to try acting and making filmmaking. So luckily it's been 4 years and it's going pretty good so far. Knock on wood.
I'll knock on my plastic desk for you. Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting because that you're going from comics into film, because yesterday morning we had Rylan Grant on, who went from screenwriting and film into comics. So
yeah. I didn't have, well, when I got into comic books, I wanted to tell stories like I'd see the film in my head. I never thought I'd have the opportunity to get into the whole film industry. When I moved to Florida, it really happened happenstance. It was, a friend was making a film. Hey, you want to be a ghoul? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you want to be a bodyguard? Sure, whatever. But I thought, this is neat. I'd like to try to do more. What can I do? Well, just you have to audition, get experience. Well, I did auditioning, but I was able to get roles. And my roles led me to be able to make a reel so I could get an agent, which led to bigger roles. So luckily, just in the past year and a half, has really kind of taken, leveled up, next step. I've got a film called 45 Seconds that I'm in that's slated to be on Netflix later on this year, which is very cool. Painkillers is Mark Savage's Painkillers. It's a feature film that just got completed, and I think it's theatrical and might be Netflix. I don't know, but that's kind of the plan for that film. And there's a new TV series called Black Veil. It's an episodic by Dan Myrick of The Blair Witch, and Jeffrey Reddick, who made Final Destination. And I'm in episode 1. I'll find out if episode 2 happens in hopefully August. So yeah, got some neat stuff happening. Had more things set up. I was in line to be in a 3-episode series for an HBO TV show when the pandemic happened. Thanks, pandemic. So everything kind of shut down. But I mean, I've done some national commercials and stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just, I have an actor mentor, Lee Perkins. He's been in the Oscar winner Foxcatcher, The Domestics, and a bunch of other films. Great teacher. Helped me a lot. And he's basically told me from the very beginning I do every single time with film. Try to be truthful. Try to do your version. And just enjoy yourself. That's all you can do. And if they buy you, great. If they don't, and you move on. Don't take it personally. That's it. That's all you do for each role. That's what I try to do. And so far, I've been very fortunate. It's been pretty crazy.
Well, it seems to be one heck of a ride, and everything's on the up and up for you now.
Oh yeah, through the grace of God, man. I'm blessed. This is amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, through the grace of God and your wife letting you continue to do something.
Hey, yeah, let me tell you something. Every guy will know this, and every guy should know this, that they can't do anything without the support of their significant other. And I've got a great wife who supports me through all of my craziness, and I'm very fortunate. She's far too good for me, and I'm thankful for it. So I try not to say too much because maybe she'll realize and figure things out. She hasn't yet. So far, so good. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, there's no way I'd be even remotely close to what I'm doing. Excuse me.
Well, let's take a look at the Kickstarter.
Yep. There it is.
There's the page.
Isn't that a great image? Carl Moline, the Marvel, DC, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Carl Moline's a good friend of mine. He did the artwork for that one. I was lucky enough to ink it, and then Dennis Lennon did the colors on that. Dennis is my go-to color guy. Love that image.
Yeah, I looked at the entire thing, and we're gonna do that now for all the viewers. But I'm like, some of the artwork is just phenomenal.
Yeah, we have some of the top indie creators that are out in the game right now doing some amazing stuff. So for volume 1, we had a bunch of great people, and we had a bunch of them come back for 2, got some new people come in, writers and artists. So yeah, they brought their A game, to be sure. I'm going to lean forward so I don't squeak my chair.
All right, we're going to take a look at you talking about the book.
Hi, I'm Austin Janowsky. I'm the writer and creator of the comic book series Zombies Were Human Too, telling zombie stories before and how they became zombies. And this is the relaunch of Volume 2 of that series. So the kids are able to escape from the one building to the next building via a ladder that they found on the roof. From there, they try to escape through the building down to the bottom floor and out. Unfortunately, it's now become infested with zombies. So as they're trying to get their way down, they are forced yet again into a situation where they have to save themselves, and they find a storage cellar, which turns out to be a safe room. But see, the bigger question is, whose safe room is it, and are they coming back? So for Volume 2, it's another 100-page graphic novel, color for the main stories, black and white for the zombies, and we have some of the top indie writers and artists that are working on this book. And we cannot be more excited to have them involved. And last thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you so much for taking a minute watching this video all the way to the end, checking out the Kickstarter and the rewards, and backing this project. To be honest with you, I didn't think we were going to be able to relaunch. I mean, a couple months ago, who knew what was going to be happening? So the fact that we're able to is absolutely amazing. We got a great book with great art, story, cover art, and we lowered the rate we needed in total to fund this book specifically because we wanted to make sure we got it in your hands. So thank you so much for taking a minute of your time. Please keep being safe and take care.
And you actually made your goal already.
Let me tell you, we made our goal in the first 2 days.
Oh, that's awesome.
It exploded. And then anything else over that was just, and it, you know, it slows down and whatnot. Partially because I expected longer. I mean, the first one took closer, like the first one, we were 1,200 down the last day, and we came back and made 1,600,
wow,
which was unreal. So I'm thinking that's pace. What's going to happen? Bam! First 2 days we got us. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Stretch goals. All right, and so here we are.
Well, that's going to be a big sigh of relief, though, that you're not sweating it out till the very end.
Right. Well, the one that we canceled, we had a really high goal because I wanted to have a lot more for the book itself. It wasn't sustainable, so we really lowered the rate, and we knocked it back a little bit. So it's still 100 pages and whatnot. And we took some of it away because we're going to be putting into 3 to make it so it's affordable for everyone to get and get funded easier. So, yeah.
And so far, we've got the zombified bookmark and an indie digital comic bundle.
Yes.
Now, that's something that I'm seeing more and more come around, and that's just awesome because it's letting other creators get seen and read by people that might not have never heard of the book, or them, or might have read something from them once a while ago and wondered what happened to them, and now they know.
Yeah, I've had almost a dozen people that I've either contacted them or they've contacted me and asked if I wouldn't mind putting Zombies Volume 1 as a digital. And I'm like, absolutely. More people to read the book, help you guys out. I mean, that's all we want to do. Comic books are small to begin with. Indies are even smaller, and we have to support ourselves. We have to support each other. You know what I mean? Yes, we're going for the same sort of dollars, but in the end, if we're fighting amongst ourselves, then it's all going to collapse. So if we can help other people, so I'm championing other books. Here's this, whatever, if this helps you and it helps me, I'm all for it. So, Luke Stone, Russell Nolte, and Rick Danford, and the guys at Inkforge Studios, their book, The Upstarts, which actually their Kickstarter is going to be launching July 6th. Little plug. Great guys, but they gave me some digital books to do for the digital comics bundle. So I'm happy that it's unlocked and everybody can get that, all my 100 and some odd people. And then we move on to our mini posters, which are just, they're awesome.
Yeah, various parts of the story in grayscale color. And let's take a look at the bookmark.
Yes, there's a bookmark.
The bookmark came out awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That's actually like page 10. And I was thinking about making something myself, but when I saw that, first of all, Mercurio, the series artist, I told him, I said, I want that image, because in my mind, coloring the focal point of that image, because this is when they make the noise, zombies are alerted, and then tomfoolery ensues. I think Joel Chula and Mercurio did a fantastic job on it, so I had to make that as the bookmark.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best looking bookmarks I've seen for a Kickstarter in a long time. Most of them, they're decent, but they're usually plain. Like you've got your logo for the book on one side, plus a miniature logo on this side, but the image itself is just spectacular.
Yeah, I wanted to have something that would showcase, the zombies themselves, and there's, male, female, old, young. It has a good, diverse group of zombies, and I thought it was a great image.
And some of the unlocked indie bundle.
So yeah, the Upstarts is Ink Fortress Studios book. Russell Nolte, his is Ichabod Jones and Katrina, and then Luke Stone's Hybrids. That's 1 and 2. And Tan is a superhero book that I came up with about 15 years ago. So that book's like 10 or so years old. And I'm looking to revamp it and maybe put it out later on this year or early next year. But this gives people a little taste of what the story is. This is my intro, my book to the series. So
cool. That Katrina cover really pops out, though.
Thank you. Yeah, Ron Joseph is the penciler on this, and I was lucky enough to ink it. And to be honest with you, Chris, and I cannot pronounce Chris's last name, but this was 15 years. But it stands up. It's a strong image, even from 15 years ago. So,
and it matches in with somebody else's zombie book that we're talking about. And you have the first 9 pages of the graphic novel.
Yes. So this way people can see the first main story, and it leads into volume 2. A little taste. So the main artist in series art is Mercurio Campitella. And the colors for volume 2 is Joel Chua. Mercurio, I loved his art from day one. So he's my zombie guy. He's going to be doing my zombie main stories until he's too famous and he can't do it anymore. He's actually doing Fathom for Aspen right now. So he fits me in between what he's doing. So yeah, he's actually starting a new issue in about next week. So, but the book will be done in September, and he's right in line, has me scheduled, so we will make our deadline, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, as you can see, they cross into the roof, and the idea was there's a latch that they kind of sneak down and go in throughout the front door. Obviously, there's a hole, there's zombies, and then they're forced to make another decision. So you've got the storage cellar that they break into, and it turns out
they find the bookmark.
Yes, they found the bookmark. See what I mean? Is that awesome?
Oh yeah, they're just kicking butt too.
Yeah, they're good. But then on the last page, you find out they're actually in a safe room. But it also means they're trapped too.
Yeah.
There's our new creators.
Garrett Gunn, Stan Yak.
Yeah.
John Crowther.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Kaiser. Adam Fields. Anthony Zakari. Carl Bonato.
Mm-hmm.
Philip, help me with that one. Buthorn?
Buthorn, I think. Okay. Yeah. His Facebook is Philip Charles, and he has like I Love Horror Facebook group. So that's him.
Cool.
This is his official name. You want to make sure I have his official name. And Jamie Norman. Now Spanky is actually Sean Pila, but his art name is Spanky. You got John Grosjean, Joe Sontag, Dan Brown. Now Jamie and Dan did a story together, and Mr. Sheehan did the lettering on that. So I want to make sure I say that. Now, Joe Davison, if you don't know who Joe is a director and actor. He was the nerdy tech on Stranger Things 2.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Joe and I are good friends. He actually has a web series called South of Central that he's created. He's a showrunner, and he's the main actor. And I have a recurring role playing a swarmy lawyer, Paul Hammerstone. So it's actually on YouTube right now if you guys want to check that out too. Don't mean to plug it, just yeah. So
go right ahead. That's what we're here for.
Joe loves comic books, and he's said now and again, I would love to be in a comic book or write a book. And I'm like, well, you're a horror guy, write a zombie story for me. And he just fell over backwards. So yeah, I'm excited to have him. So if you don't know who Garrett is the writer of a bunch of different awesome titles for South Point Press. And Stan Yak does a lot of artwork for Garrett and a few others. John has done stuff with Antarctic Press, and Matthew's a new writer that his first story I published in volume 1, and so we're doing for volume 2. Adam Fields has done stuff for Antarctic Press, and he's got his own book called Prowlers. Anthony Zarkuri, he's been writing forever. He's done stuff for Dark Horse and a few others. Carl is actually a film director, but he can draw, so he wanted to write and draw a zombie story, so I gave him the opportunity. Same with Phil. Phil loves horror, but he's never had a chance to write a story, so gave him a chance. Jamie and Dan are from, I'm going to say England. They're in different parts of England. If I say one, they might get upset, but they're over in the UK. Same with Sean. John Grosjean, he is actually in film, but he's an editor, but he loves to draw. So I loved his art style, so I hooked him up with Joe to do their story together. Same with Joel Rodriguez. Joel Rodriguez, they are, oh God, I'm going to butcher his name. Anyway, Joe, something Ninja Studios. I'm sorry, Joel, but so Joel and Joe did a story together. So what I did was with volume 1, writers would send in ideas, artists would like to do stuff, and I would connect them for the zombie stories. That's also what we did for volume 2 and what we're doing for volume 3. So this is our group of people. But yeah, so Joe Davidson is super ecstatic, and I love working with him as an actor. And he's a really good writer. He's a really good screenwriter, and you're going to love his zombie story when you see it. It's called Tim and Slim's Junkyard.
I love the title already.
Oh yeah, it's really, really funny.
And the covers for volume 2.
Yeah, so this is the soft cover. Like I said, it's penciled by Carl Moline, inked by myself, and colors by Dennis Lennon. And this is the hardcover image. Louis Garagna did the pencils. David Riviera did the inks, and Casey Bailey did the colors. Casey Bailey went a completely different way than I thought coloring wise for this. I was thinking more of a muted tone. He went with a painter style and just crushed it. It looks so good. Both I love both covers. They're both amazing, but it really is. It has a nice creepy feel to it.
Both covers are great, but I have to say I prefer this one right here.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty neat.
will love this book. Everybody.
Everybody will.
And new reward tiers. Future zombie mask.
Yes. So, well, so we had our regular rewards. For the last 3 days, we added some new reward tiers. So everyone, it's become mandatory pretty much that you have to wear a face mask.
Mm-hmm.
So Future Zombie is kind of a joke that we do. We have a T-shirt that we have for rewards that we wore. When we were at C2E2, we actually had convention badge ribbons that you actually attached to the bottom of your con badge, and it said Future Zombie. So we had that. And I thought it would be interesting if we did the face mask, because that's kind of a goof. It's a pandemic. It's a funny thing. So we got our face mask.
Then we have the zombie lineup print.
Yes. So this is a zombie from each one of the zombie stories.
In full color. So
yes,
once you read it, that's kind of a cool idea to highlight a zombie from each zombie story within.
Well, that's the thing. We're telling zombie stories before and how they become zombies. Let's feature zombies. I mean, that's what the really book's about. We're trying to not vilify zombies. I mean, they're monsters and whatnot. It's a different take, different thought process on the whole zombie genre. So.
And the pandemic pack.
Yes, with zombie repellent juice.
Please do not drink.
God, please don't drink.
Face mask, T-shirt, and zombie repellent hand sanitizer for $25 is a bargain. Especially since there's still a lot of places that can't get hand sanitizer.
I know, isn't that crazy?
And original art.
Right. So we had the original cover art for Volume 2, the soft cover, Carmeline and mine, and it got sold. Wow. So we thought, Eric Donovan did the hardcover image for Volume 1. We'll put it out there and see what would like that too. So there you go. This is all Eric Donovan's art. Eric's done stuff for Boom and for DC and for Image. So really, really good illustrator. So what we did here was we have Volume 2, but for the people that are just joining, we want to be able to have them catch up. So you can either go digitally with 2 or catch up digitally for Volume 1 and 2, or same thing with the soft covers and hard covers. You can either get Volume 2 soft cover, or you can get 1 and 2. Help you catch up and make sure you're ready for Volume 3.
So you can read the whole thing, yeah.
Yep, all 200 pages.
Great idea. And just the zombie shirt by itself?
Because there's some people that like zombies, but maybe they don't like the graphic novel. So we gave them different options to actually have, getting something zombie. Like our zombie crate mystery box. So we did an early bird where you could get the books themselves and a couple of these different things for a few days, and then it discontinued. So now the mystery crate is you can get the digital bundle of 1 and 2, and in the box you can either get a patch or stickers, or patch and a signed, Stranger Things 2 print, so there'll be a combination of different things. So you'll get in the box between 2 and 4 things.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know. It's a mystery.
You get both volumes digitally, and then you get like a smorgasbord of swag.
Yeah, exactly.
In a box mailed to you.
Yep.
That's still cool because you get you get to read the whole thing, and you get the extra swag for the book.
Mm-hmm.
These are cool.
Yeah, this is Stan Yak. So Stan, his stuff, if you want to get commission from Stan, starts at $90. I mean, he's that good and he's that in demand. But he said for this that he would start it at 60. So we've had about 4 bought so far. So if you like zombie sort of art, you like Stan's art style, and you want to get a commission, this is the best time to do it. And for $60, you can't beat that price.
Oh yeah, that's pretty darn low.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because I buy stuff. I know comics, and I buy stuff based on comics.
So for the original art pages themselves, so this is Sean Pila, the zombie wrestler that John Crowther wrote, and then below it is the completionist, that is Joe Sontag's, and they're 75. There's 17 pages in total. I think we've had 1 or 2 already bought, but the cool thing is you get the art and you get the actual page of script that the writer wrote it on, and it'll be signed by the writer. That'll go with it.
Oh, cool.
So you get the corresponding art and script. So I thought that was neat.
And low for the retailers.
Yes. So for our retailer rewards, any one of these that they choose, there's no shipping to retailers. They're having a tough time bouncing back. So shipping is something we're happy to cover. So the Zombies Love, retailers, you're basically just getting volume 2, and I think it's like 5 copies of that. Mm-hmm. The catch up is 5 of volume 1 and volume 2. And then the road trip is for anyone within a few hundred miles of Tampa, and the store wants to get that. Myself and Joe will road trip and do a store signing. Plus, we'll have some Stranger Things stuff to give away, some promotional stuff to help bring people in. But there's that. And if any store wants more than 5, it's just $10 per book.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And they're all signed?
Yes, they will be signed. Yeah, I will make sure every soft cover that goes out is going to be signed by me and will be signed by Carl Moline. And then other stuff that involves Joe Davison, will have him get signed too. So, because we had some early bird. One was like a Stranger Things early bird, and we had like a Stranger Things 2 poster and a still image from him at the show, and a bunch of those different things. So things will be signed. Don't you worry.
Everything gets signed.
Yes.
In the breakdown.
Yes.
Because the big blue is all the art and manufacturing.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
And then the big chunk of that Kickstarter takes.
Yeah.
They're double dipping.
Mm-hmm.
But, like the kids.
What you got to do.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
Do what you have to do in these times to get everything out.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
But the book looks great.
Thank you.
I mean, we've all seen those Kickstarters, and people love what they do, but sometimes they don't quite look right.
Well, I've worked in industries where they have high expectations and the quality has to be really high. And I learned that from a very early age. So professionally, I need to make sure that this book, whether it's 1 or 2, can stand up to any book, Marvel, DC, whatever, and you can't tell the difference in quality. That's it. You're fighting for shelf space. So you need to put out your best product. And the writers and artists and that have worked with me on these books are top tier. And I make sure, whether they're beginners or pros, they put top level. And I try to make sure I put out the best book I possibly can for the money that people are going to spend. So it's okay, Hope. My daughter, Hope.
Hi, Hope.
Sorry.
Hi, person on the screen. All right, I'll be back.
Have fun.
30 minutes late.
That's okay. Fashionably late.
Yeah.
She's going to church.
So the book looks great. There's some great, hate to call it last minute, but the last 3-day kick of the Kickstarter for some great extra stuff that just got added in.
Yeah. Well, the idea is, and people have asked me questions, hey, I like this reward tier, but I like this too. How can I get that? I'm like, well, you can just combine any rewards. Like if you want to catch up on the graphic novels, but you want a t-shirt or whatever, you just pick your reward tier, add whatever the numbers are, and that's your final pledge. Mm-hmm. And then just send me a message and let me know what the added money is for, and you'll get that. That's not a problem. So yeah, we've had people add-ons or combine reward tiers, and we did that specifically because, again, some people like reading digital books and not the actual physical books, but they like the t-shirts and whatnot. So we're giving people options, not very expensive options, that they can add a little bit more or get something swag or something like that, and you can combine it and the total and just add it to your pledge. And I should have done the math sooner. Wasn't thinking. But yeah, we sold some things and we just want to add a few more things to have a nice last push.
So the link for the Kickstarter is right in the chat. Plus it is also down below in the show description. So make sure you click on that. Head on over to Kickstarter and check out his new project with a new spin on zombies.
Yes, it's telling zombie stories before and how they became zombies. It's a brand new take on the zombie genre and zombie genre. That sounds better. Me personally, I'm very thankful we're able to run this campaign. Like the video I said before, and I've told other people, in March, we decided to cancel just because we had no idea what the pandemic was going to happen financially and otherwise. We didn't want to be a burden to anyone. We knew every penny was going to count. We didn't know how long it was going to last. So that's why we decided to cancel. And we didn't think we were going to be able to launch the Kickstarter again. And we're thankful that not only were we able to launch it, but we got funded in a few days. We're over and into stretch goals. And I'm just blown away. I'm thankful, and it's great. And I cannot wait to get these books in your hands. We already got volume 3 started. I've got 60 pages of story and art done already waiting. And I've got 12 or 13 new writers and a bunch of artists that want to jump in. Chuck Dixon said he'd like to do a story. So we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, actor Jason London said he'd like to do a story. Volume 3 is going to be pretty good. Can't wait for that. But we'll get Volume 2 done, and we'll get it in your hands by September. So
it sounds good, and more interesting things on the zombie market.
Yes, yeah. I love horror and I love zombies. And being able to do a different take on the genre and have people respond in a positive way is all I can ask for. So I'm just grateful.
Well, the book sounds great. It looks great, like I said. And there's still a few more days you can get in on this book. You can get both books together, digitally, physically, softcover, hardcover, masked or unmasked.
Yeah.
And all kinds of other cool stuff, and one of the best looking Kickstarter bookmarks you'll ever find.
You cannot beat the bookmark. And if you pledge now, you get it for free. For free! Can you believe it? Plus, you get that indie digital comics bundle. Russell Nohelty, Luke Stone, people from Inkforge. They got some great books you'll be able to read while you're waiting for Volume 2 to come out. So, yeah, I think we got some good stuff for everyone. We got great story, great art, great covers, great creators. And, yeah, you will not be disappointed. I can guarantee you that.
You can scoop up yourself some really rad-looking original art.
Yeah. I want them to sell, but I don't want them to sell because I really like the artwork, and I'm a fan too, and I like to collect. But for $75 for an original piece of artwork, that's cheap. I mean, you can't beat that anywhere. And Eric Donovan's cover art for only $250. I waffled on how much, but again, I want to make sure someone who is a fan of the series will enjoy the cover. So, which is why we have that price. We price our rewards to make it affordable for everyone to get some cool stuff and for us to cover our costs. Maybe I'm doing Kickstarter wrong and I'm not really doing a lot of things that make lots of money. I'm trying to do this to cover costs for our artwork, to take care of the zombie creators if I'm able to, and make another book. That's really what my Kickstarters are for. And maybe I'm not doing it the right way, but that's the way I'm doing it, man. I'm trying to do it so I can make more books and make my creators happy and make my readers happy.
And get more books into the hands of potential new readers.
Yeah.
The way you've got it set up is perfect.
Thanks. I do want to say though, the stories and the books, they're PG-13 at best. There's no real nasty blood horror. There's no swearing or anything like that. We made sure it was PG-13 specifically. So that's all my books try to be PG-13, and even though it's horror, it's still it's a funny horror. So PG-13 I thought was a good gauge to make my stories and artwork, and that's exactly what we're doing. So for parents out there that were a little worried, it's only PG-13. The zombie games that you are playing are worse. Trust me. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on today. This has been great. We look forward to seeing you afterwards with whatever comes next down the pipeline.
Thanks, Will. I really appreciate you asking me to come on and talk about my Kickstarter and everything. And hopefully the next time we actually can kind of see a person at a show or event or whatever. But if nothing else, maybe we'll talk about Volume 3. But, just stay safe.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Be smart. And thank you. Yeah, this is great. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. We look forward to getting the books, and I'll try to get I'm going to try to get some PDFs of those so I can get some of our reviewers to get a review of the book up for you too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've had some great reviews. Everything Horror Podcast, Horror DNA have said really nice things. So yeah, let me know. We'll send PDFs out and get reviewed. We'd love to know what people think on it. And if we can improve, more to it. I'm happy. I take feedback. I want to make better stuff. So if you guys have better ideas, something I'm not thinking of, please let me know. I'm an open book. So.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure talking to you, learning about your shirt corner. And
my what corner? Oh, yeah.
The shirt corner.
Yes.
Everybody grab the link for the Kickstarter, head over there, check it out for yourselves. You can read the first 8 or 9 pages.
9 pages, yeah.
You can read the first 9 pages of the book. It's a great way to preview it. I'm sure you're gonna like it. I read through it and I highly enjoyed what I read so far, so I have to buy it and read some more.
Oh, yes, you do. I want to know more what's happening. Thank you, Will. I really appreciate it. And thanks, everyone, for watching and taking a few minutes. I really appreciate it. So.
All right, thanks. You have a great day.
You too. Guys, be blessed. Take care.
Bye bye.